My name is Abhishek Ranjan. I am doing my final year BTech in Computer Science at NIT Silchar, Assam. Uh, this over here is my project that I made during my third year, and now I'm going to walk you through this project. So basically, this is an event management system that is utilizing the concepts of object-oriented programming and using file input-output system like over here. Uh, let me once walk you through it, then I will tell you about file input output. Basically, the data that we generate during the running program that gets stored in file. Like you see these function actually once there would be some text files, right? When we'll run the program, it will load that data into some vectors, and then the program will run. And once the program ends, the data in vectors will go back to those files. Okay, let's first just let me start the program, and then with that I would tell what things are coming up. So like this is the event management CPP, right? So let me run this program. Now you see like these options that appear at the first page. You see each options will be like a different menu with them, like they will have a different menu structure. Let's say for example I go to professor in charge, right, and add some professors like Rajiv, then CSE, then eligibility. It means like you have to put 1 or 0. If you put 1, it means it is he or she is eligible, or when you put 0, it is not. uh, Now again it would go in a loop until I press 5 to go back to home page. Now let me add one more professor. Anish, CSA, eligible. So now I can see the eligibility using show professors, right? Here you see the professors are like the professors that I created are put into vector and then they are displayed. You see this pic.txt. This pic.txt would be storing this these names of professor once the program ends. Let me just show you that. So you see these were the names that I entered. Now the thing is the better thing about the good thing about this project is that once I start the program, it will have the information of pic.txt and that information will be removed. Now when the program is running, you see, now I can obtain like if I press show professors, then it would again show. Once the program start running, in this load event you see, uh, let me get to that function. Load event is actually in here. This is a header file that I made lot many header files like 1, 2, 3, and 4, because my code was getting big, so I had to put them into different header files and then take it from there. You see, for example, the load professor PIC. Here pic.text would be uh, opened, and in that I would search for like do you see the structure. Basically I have uh, stored the names and the data in those files in such a way that it would be easy for me to access. So here I am storing, like this is the way that I am obtaining from it. And then this is at the end. What I would do is erase that all the information so that I don't write it again once the program ends. In same way, there are the same functions for the other uh, things which are needed to be stored as well. I would tell you when the time comes, but just let me walk through it. Now, if I want to change the eligibility, I would, for example, if I want to change the eligibility of, let's say, Anish, then I would press 2. Then again, I press 4 and I would see that, okay, now he's not eligible. Now, if I can also remove a professor, for example, now I choose Rajiv to be removed too, so I pressed 1. Now, again, if I show, then this. Now you see, if I go back to home page and then press exit, now in my professor in charge.txt, I would have only one professor. So this was just some idea about how the professor, how basically how the input output operations are working in my program. So that basically it is a basic program which is not requiring any database to store these uh, data objects or the data that would be required. So once the program restarts, it does not need to enter all the values again. It would have the values recorded from the previous folder files that it has. Now, similarly, you saw the professor in charge one, right? Now let's go back to home page. And now I have by pressing one, I can go to event management core team. In this, I have show professor in charge, student body members, sponsors. I can add events, edit events, show events. You see, these events would also be stored under this thing, event record txt, right? I can, for example, let me walk you through it. I press 4. Now I will add events. Now I press 15 June, like the dance all day. Now if I press show events, you would see on 15 June I have to dance all day. Now the how it is now again. Let me now I can select 15 June and I would say brush. If I press 6, then you see. So in this way, I can add events. I can also edit events, and these events would be getting stored into event record.txt. So whenever if the program ends, that the vectors that containing these data would be uh, to asked to put all that data into the file, and whenever we restart the program. So in the similar fashion that happened with professor in charge. So now uh, for showing PIC, I did the you see the same function. It is here as well because this is the main menu. The now this was the main thing that happened. Now professor in charge also done. You see in that event management, I have some things like student body members and so sponsors that I am not doing right now because uh, they there are no student body members right now. They which will be entered in this one when I press 3. Now let us go one wait a minute. Okay, sponsors one is also there are no sponsors, so that's why there would be it would tell no sponsor. Now let me go back. So let me go to student body. Then there would be for student body like security team, hospitality, management team, and PR team. I can let's say I go to security team, then I can add team member, remove team member, find, add task, edit task, show task. These three things, 4, 5, and 6, they are similar to the like event, adding event, edit event, show event. So I'm not going through it. Fine is basically fine will be generated by the security team. If, for example, during event some things don't go in the way that are supposed to, then security team has that authority to take fines, award punishments, and so on, and add team member, remove team member. These all things are happening through vectors. Let me go back. Similarly, hospitality team, management team, PR team, you can go through this once you like clone this project into your own remote system, and then like you can explore. Uh, if there is if by typing something you are facing like infinite scrolling or some kind of issue, then maybe I have not used getline over there to take the input, or you have entered uh, basically a string into some place where I was asking for an integer input. So these are simple, right? Now let me go back. So similarly, you can see that participant part is there. Add in campus, out campus participants. I have separated it because I charge more money for the out campus participants. And similarly, I have so eligible participants are there. Now let me go back. Now let me just add one security member and then show you. Like for example, let me add myself. Oh, so you see here the problem occurred is because I put there wasn't this get line, so that's why this problem occurred. I would add it later. Let me attribute ID 16. Now let's go to student body and go back, and then now go to student body members. Now you see this. See, this Ranjan was supposed to come in the name part, but there is no get line. I would have written CSE over in department. Now let me go back to home page and add some sponsors. So for example, I'm adding Pepsi, then I add Coco, 50 rupees. Now I can show all the sponsors. You see the editing and removing sponsors are simple, so you can go through it. Now you see these money that the sponsors are having are being stored in a global variable in my program, and at the end I can just type this one and you can see it is 130 coming. It is because 100 rupees was with Pepsi and 30 with Coca-Cola. So that's it. Now let me tell you how the things are arranged in this document. These txt files are not needed. Whenever the program runs, they would automatically get created. The thing is that my main file is this one, event management on CPP. So it looked like that it is 42 lines long, but it is not. It was actually very large, so that's why I like distributed those codes into 4 header files so that I would make it easier for myself to decode. So basically, these are just the menu options. Whatever menu options that you see, this would appear here. Like the options that you are supposed to choose. These are menu options. In functions.h, the main logic is hidden, right? You can go through it. And loading.h is where the input output to the database, with basically it is not a database but a file input output, is done in this part. Now classes.h, in classes.h I have stored all the classes and those vectors in which the operations are being done. And I have also a PDF regarding the it has the star ML diagram. You can see the star ML diagram from here as well. It won't appear now. You have to install star ML. This will be a class diagram. Code is written and some outputs are written. Basically, this was a part of my object-oriented design course in my college, but I thought to make improvements in this project and make it better. So this is it.